think I felt comforted because I know that I'm doing something, because whenever I see people on the streets I feel bad, but now that I know we can do something about it, I feel better.
I had a lot of fun making the sandwiches. Like, it was nice to be able to hang out with my friends while still thinking in the back of my mind that we're here for a purpose and we're doing something that's really gonna help brighten someone's day. Like, to me, a sandwich doesn't really mean that much, but it's nice to think that it actually makes a big impact on someone else's day. So it was nice, yeah.
I've done this kind of thing before, and it's really just like moving experience. Really just makes you feel like you're doing something good instead of just sitting around doing nothing.
Not many people do this, so it's sort of, and I think, it almost sounds like us and them. Maybe just see them as just one of us, another human being. So Pope Francis, I was telling one of the girls, Pope Francis said recently, don't just like drop some money or give somebody some food, but when you do, instead sort of see their soul a bit, like recognize they're just like you and me, except they're not, they don't have what we have, they're disadvantaged. But he said try to look in their eyes if you can, and then just the thought. But thank you for what you're doing. Don't be afraid, because I've done it. I've done it many times, and I think they're going to give you a lot more back than you could possibly give them. You know what I mean? You're going to feel, not just that you're going to feel hopefully good about it, but you're going to kind of learn a lot about real need. So thank you for that, and thank you for coming today. I'll give you a blessing before you go. So may Almighty God bless you, and I ask God to watch over you, to keep you safe. Most importantly, may the Lord extend His gratitude and blessing upon you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, have fun. Take care.
So, why do you think it's important to give back to the community in this Lenten season?
I think that it's important because like during Lent, we give up something for 40 days, so it's like our job to kind of give back to the community. So like giving sandwiches to the homeless people, it's like they don't have the same opportunity to have food like available like we do, so it's important that we give back and help out. So that's what the Lenten season's all about.
Well, I think it's important because I think that we owe something to our community, and I think this is a great idea, just giving back to the homeless out there, and they're probably starving and it's really bad weather, so it's great.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's definitely good to just give back to the community because we take so much for granted sometimes. We don't realize that other people are living on the streets and suffering and trying their best to survive, and I think it's just a great idea to give back and help out those who can't provide for themselves.
I felt like I was making it with love and really putting effort into doing what's right and sharing what I have with others. I think a lot of times during Lent, people assume that you're supposed to give something up, and it's something that a lot of people dread, and they're like, I don't want to, not eat chocolate anymore or pizza. So by putting it in perspective and really trying something new that you can do instead to help people, it's really a way that people start to look forward to Easter while still making an impact. And it's more of a positive impact if you think about it, like you're going out and you're helping people, whereas me giving up chocolate isn't really helping anyone with their situations. Yes, it's helping me think of how fortunate I am, but being able to put that into practice is really great.
Well, one of the kind of beautiful things about Lent, and it's 40 days before Easter, is that we're called to kind of be renewed. And a lot of times what that means is we're asked, we kind of want to develop our prayer life, and ways in which we do that too is that part of prayer is also a call to action. So when we realize that Jesus came to serve us, we want to also, our hearts are kind of reaching out to others too. So during the season of Lent, there's also what we call almsgiving, which means people may give to the poor, they might give financially, but really another important way too is actually go out and meet people, particularly those most in need, and so acts of charity. So for instance, feeding the poor. Pope Francis recently said something, I might mention it to the students today, that he said when you feed, if you're giving something to the poor, he said make sure you look in their eyes, not go like this, but rather, because then you're sort of impersonal, but rather see them as human beings, that they have dignity, they may be poor, they may lack a lot of things, but they don't lack soul, and they're children of God.
Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime he might perpetrate next?
He's a very clever arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of suicidal mania.